mind if I repeat some of the questions which?
No, I don't mind. I will give you you want the same answer?
Huh?
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. Just ask me anything that you want.
Okay.
It can be a repeat. It's fine.
Okay. The first question is, where are we in the crypto cycle right now? And when do you think this winter going to end? Has it already ended?
I think the cycle here is very straightforward. I look at numbers, right? So right now, Bitcoin is promising. The numbers are good. I'm not going to lie. And I think that it is at a period of time where things are just going to be a lot better. That's how I see it. From a more optimistic standpoint. If you look at the overall market condition, if you look at the overall finance numbers and figures, I think Bitcoin is in a good position. It is doing better than many other assets that you can see right now, in sort of the real world. So I think Bitcoin is okay. How I look at it at the end of the year would still be very promising. Q3, Q4 would be a good time for us to see how far we can go, with Bitcoin for this year. Are we going into a really super bull cycle? That is actually the question. Because if you look at it longer run, are we looking at a 69,000 Bitcoin? Are we looking at a 28,000 Bitcoin? Does 28,000 means that it is in the winter? It is a matter of perspective. It is also a matter of when you get into the market, and where are your holdings right now, right? So to be honest, I think it's not winter. I don't see that the market is going into a super bull cycle in the next 1 or 2 quarters, but perhaps at the end of third quarter or at the beginning of Q4, you will see a gradual a signal, that okay, it's going to come soon, and I do see that, if everybody is more optimistic, you try to continue to build, you will see the kind of good results at the end of the year. That's my belief.
And why Q4?
I think it takes a bit of time, right? Right now, after the FTX incident, after the Three Arrows incident, after the bank crisis, right? It takes some time to clean it up, And I think it's fair to say that it's Q4 because the time is the time needed is not going to be too fast. There's too much cleanup to be done. So I look at it from a Q4 perspective.
Okay. Yeah. So speaking of people wanting to invest in crypto, what 3 factors do you think people should consider when investing in crypto, NFT, anything Web3 related? Top 3 factors.
I think the top 3 factor would be, from a retail investor standpoint, yeah.
Yep.
I think they got to know their finances very well, because I have a big community, whether it's on Twitter or whether it's on Telegram and then some other private ones. I have big communities talking to me. We interact a lot. I realize that most of these friends of ours, or retail investors in general, they do not know their limit. You just imagine if today you get a paycheck of $500 at the end of the month, they are willing to bet $600, $700. I mean, that's with leverage, right? So you can put in more money, and that is beyond what you can manage, And I think that is one thing that people are just missing. You are into cryptocurrency because you want to get some proper, sizable return, but you are not here to gamble, right? You are not a god of gambler, just show hand and then that's it, right? So this is point number 1. Point number 2, again from a retail investor standpoint, they need to know what they are investing in, right? And they need to understand that what they are investing in could be the tech. What they are investing in could be a hype. They got to understand this because the price is going to fluctuate. And it cannot be a case where right now is $1, for example, for whatever coin it is. And then it drops to 90 cents. They start to panic, they start to fart, they start to talk a lot of bad things about a project, and then it went to 70 cents. They want to find the founders, they want to do this. That's not the case. The reason is they do not understand the cycle, they do not understand the product, and they get panic. So understand the product, understand the project. That's the second thing. The last thing that I really want to say, from a more generic standpoint, is you got to always do the right kind of research for yourself, not just for the project. You need to understand, when you need your money back. You need to understand when is the realization period, right? So many people, they can come and show me. I bet you have friends who show you their wallet. Oh, I have 100 mil on paper, but they fail to realize it. When you fail to realize it, you are not getting any return. So you need to know yourself. What kind of risk you want to take. What kind of portfolio you have, right? You got to know yourself. I think these are the three things that most retail investors are really missing out, in their investment cycle.
Okay. So portfolio management, know your product, and know your timeline of investment.
Yep.
Amazing. So, like the last question about the investing thing, like in your opinion, what's the under the radar technology right now in the space, which could be the next big thing?
Again, non-financial advice here, but I still feel that the term decentralization is not fully optimized. The word decentralization or decentralized business are not fully optimized. If it's not fully optimized, you do not know what you're saying. You do not know where the money is going to come from. You do not know how to sustain it. Then you're not doing any good for decentralization. So I still felt that there will be more decentralized products, there will be more decentralized apps, there will be more decentralized economy that is really missing. We really got to keep an eye on it. In one of my speech, I talk about metaverse, being more sustainable, creating your own ecosystem within the metaverse, right? Create your own economy within the metaverse that is decentralized from what you do in the daytime. You can earn money from playing games. You can earn money by being at the metaverse. That kind of decentralized economy, finding your own niche, finding a separate niche from what you are doing in real life, that is something that is really missing. We need to redefine decentralization. We need to look at how we can re-decentralize. It seems like a funny word, but we need to re-decentralize because right now, most people, when you talk to my own friends, crypto guys, they will say, oh, get rid of the bank, get rid of the government. That is not decentralization because we still need to exist, for the time being, unless you have a good metaverse that can sustain itself, right? So we need to look at re-decentralization. How we re-decentralize, how we revalue what we are already doing in the so-called decentralized world to get more output from it, So humble opinion is, let's re-decentralize.
Okay. Well, do you think Bitcoin is decentralized enough, or?
I think the technology itself is decentralized. The technology and the intention is decentralized, but you can see a lot of institutions, a lot of exchanges are accumulating it, right? So if you have a big accumulation, do you still think that it is centralized or decentralized? That's a question for us to really look at in the next 2 to 5 years, to be very honest. You looking at how the assets are being centralized and accumulated, it seems like we are going towards a more centralized, outcome, right? Yeah.
Okay. Like speaking of trends, if you could change one thing in crypto right now, what thing would you change?
Well, there's many things that I really want to change. To be very honest, coming back to the Bitcoin reply, I would love to see that they put on a limit on how many Bitcoin can one wallet host. It sounds crazy, but in order for Satoshi's vision to be more sustainable, it cannot just be how you mine. It could be other mechanism. So I could be crazy, but that's really what I think.
Okay. So you say like under the radar thing is decentralization. People do not pay enough attention to this. But what do you think would be the next like 3 hot topics in the Web3 crypto world?
Wow, 3 hot topics. I think hot topics, number 1 would be NFTs.
Again?
Yep, because things is going to change.
Okay.
What you see right now about NFT could just be the really beginning of many of this new output. How brands are going to collaborate is just the beginning. So NFT would have a big change. I think how people integrate AI, into this whole cryptocurrency would also change things. I'll give you an example. Right now, the DAOs are all managed by so-called separate entities, through a certain consensus mechanism. I still felt that if part of it can be managed by AI, consensus by the AI, I rather trust codes than just human being. So I think AI could probably be another way to get into the space. It could be called like decentralized AI, something along that line. And then last but not least, I still hope to see the gaming and metaverse piece, growing, in 2023.
Okay.
Because if you need to be decentralized, or if you want to be decentralized, you need your own economy. I see that the game part is the fastest way for adoption, right? If you have a good game, you have a good community, you can have a metaverse that is more sustainable on its own, So these are the 3 things, man.
Okay. Diving deep a little bit on the AI trend and the ChatGPT, what are your thinking? How can this technology disrupt or maybe evolve the Web3 space?
Like I've mentioned, it could be a AI-powered or AI decision-making process.
Yep.
And if you trust the codes more than your fellow human being, then that is already a separate layer of trust, and that could be another big step towards real decentralization, right? Or towards maybe not just the decentralization, but towards a new economy, So I think AI plays a really big role, as we progress further. They are smarter, they can make decisions, you can trust them, you can trust them with the blockchain technology together. I think it's a win-win for everybody, when we talk about AI. But of course, if you just talk about ChatGPT, many things have evolved, in the last 3 to 4 months. When ChatGPT is out, I think ChatGPT helps projects or help people, in general, understand what cryptocurrency is going to be like. They give them new perspective because they can really reply you in really straightforward sentences. And this trend will only get better because as you train the AI more, you get better results, you get better output. And again, the word is still win-win for everybody.
Okay. So I hear 2 things. First is it can help to really decentralize the crypto space, and secondly, it's a great tool for education. Like for example, if you are in the online, if you are in education in crypto space, you could perhaps include ChatGPT in one of your solutions and help people learn about crypto. It's not going to be just simple text, but it's going to be more interactive and more of a tutoring one-to-one experience.
Correct.
Definitely.
And I just want to add on, with ChatGPT, you can do a lot of regenerative stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you right now, you are not an artist. I'm not an artist. I can just sit down with Mid Journey, for example. I just say, make me a series of NFTs. They can generate.
Yeah.
You might not be able to sell it with much intention of getting a few $1 million, but
if you market it the right way, you could even sell it.
Could be, but you get things going. You experience it. You know what is NFT. You know how to do it. You know how to mint it. You do not need to go to, another dude and they say, oh, I will do it for you for 300,000. Gone are the days. ChatGPT, Mid Journey, GPT-4 changes everything. And I see that's a positive sign. Generate more, experience more, trial more. That's how things are.
Okay. Just to address some of the questions that would interest the founders, what would be the best way to raise capital in crypto space? To go about raising capital. If somebody he has a startup idea, he's somewhere, it's either at some MVP stage, maybe he generated already something. How could he or she go about raising capital?
I think projects got to be very mindful of their strategy. If you want to raise funds, you got to understand the market. You got to understand what kind of output you want, from this fundraise. So I'll give you an example. I'm not going to name who they are. Yesterday I met two young gentlemen, about 24 years old, very passionate about their product. It's a food product, and then it's linked to a Web3 environment. They showed me a Excel spreadsheet that is very detailed, but it doesn't reflect their business because it's done by their dad's accountant, very formal kind of thing. It doesn't reflect. And then he shared with me like a 55 pages worth of text about his research. I like that, to be very honest. I like the project. I know what they are trying to do. They want to grow users. But my point is, or maybe my takeaway point for them is, I'm happy to put in some money. It could be 100 grand or 200 grand. Can you give me a more precise strategy? What are you going to do? You can't be telling me that, oh, I'm going to do up some media article. I go to some schools and sell the product. And then I have a RFID, a QR code on the product. People will buy into the product. That's not how things work. The devil is in the detail, right? You can have generic strategies. You can have good passion, but if you don't have that focused brain, you don't know what the investors are looking at, you will never get the money. Even if you get the money, I'm very sure the two boys are going to raise, at least 1 to 2 mil, because maybe their family, they know friends. We have people who are very supportive in the Web3 industry, very supportive of that particular project. But trust me, if he gets the money using the current model, he will fail. I hope he when this interview goes out, he can see my reply. Because those are easy money. And those are not real strategies. You can't be sitting there randomly pull this, pull that, and then that's a strategy. It's not. I asked them, how much is the user acquisition? I don't know, right? These are some things that investors are looking at. Whether it's going to be Web 2, Web 3, Web 26, or Web 55, these things are going to be there, right? So this is the number one tip that I want to bring out. Number two is fundraise at the right time, right? Because if your product is ready, you know, the market is ready, you are ready. You know, if you think that the market is going to do badly, and you know your products is going to launch only in Q3, then you got to time your investment. You know, Web3 investors, most of them are very impatient. You know, they are not looking at something that is 10 years down the road. You know, like for myself, you know, when people come and look for me for investment, they'll say, "Oh, no problem, you know, Andy, I like, you know, I think I love you to have to be on board. You know, vesting period 5 years." I was like, okay, I'm not going to take it, you know, because my investment strategy is very different. You know, if your product is good, let's say you come up with a product, your product is good, why do you need to wait for 5 years? You know, if the project is good, by the start of this first year zero, maybe my valuation is 10 mil, right? At the end of 5 years, it could be 1B, you know, and then at 1B you give them all the tokens and they sell out on you. That's stupid, right? So you should really look at it at giving them in the beginning, because the valuation could be 15 mil. You know, you give them, they look at it, they sell, win-win, right? They don't need to dump the market, it's just small portion. Give them when it's 1B, 10B. I don't know what's your investment strategy, you know. So humble opinion is you got to time it, you know. Not all VCs are looking at it from this perspective. They're all looking at 5 years down the road, because these are not their money, you know. They're using LPs' money. They're using LPs' money. You know, they don't really see that. You know, as long as they can build a nice return, you know, every year, seems like a nice return. You know, they have done their job. You know, so again, it's about timing, man.
Okay.
I say too much. You know, I hope my VC friends are not going to kill me.
And let's give it the third one to be a nice number.
Sure. I think that the third one would be invest what you like. You know, many of us, including myself, you know, I invest things that are promising, right? But I like to invest things that I like. You know, I don't want to be a guy who say that I'm going to invest in you because I invest in people. That is the serious thing to do. People change faster than the code. You know, my friend yesterday, he told me invest in people. I do believe that, you know, but that should not be the case when we talk about investment. You know, you cannot invest in the person because your dad is Bill Gates, right? Because Bill Gates is not going to do the job for you. You know, it's Bill Gates, whoever that's going to do for you. You know, and you got to like the product. You think that there's this potential, then you put in the money, not because of other reasons. You know, because I want to invest in people. I want to invest in people because he has a good backing. That's not the thing. Because right now we are investing in value. You know, investing in value is something that you need experience. You know, so invest something that you like.
Yeah,
it will definitely grow.
Yeah, and speaking from the founder's side, it would mean that basically, if he wants to attract the investor, find the investor who likes your niche, who likes what you do. Just don't go to the random one. If you are in the Web3 space, go to the Web3 investors who are into it. Okay. So is it, like right now, is it a good start? Is it a good time to raise in crypto?
It's very subjective. You know, it depends on the project, right? So if you are a project, for example, yeah. So right now, if you are an NFT project that is closely linked with a Web2 project that has good revenue. Let's say, example, right now you're Mr. Beast, right? Mr. Beast has the Beast member,
800 mil
right?
followers on YouTube.
If you are Mr. Beast, he likes Web3, maybe, for example. You do a lot of different activities within your burger, you know, within his chocolates and things like that. Add in a Web3 element. I think with that kind of strategy, with that kind of backing, you know, every day is a good day, right? But if you are here right now, today, it's more about innovation. You are doing something that is really out of the world, for example. Then you got to catch the right timing, because right now, the overall environment is still a bit bumpy. So I will not suggest you going for something that's too out of the box, to be very honest. Because if the market is uncertain, the investors are uncertain. When investors are uncertain, they will ask you for a lot more things. It's just the same as me. If today right now is a bull market, the two boys came to me, no problem, man. That's it.
Yeah. So listening at you, my intuition is that now is the best time to prepare.
Now it is, of course.
Because when the bull market comes, when the time comes, if you have it, then you will be able to jump on it and ride it. But if you don't have it, well, you build this new thing, it's going to be another winter down the corner when you finish it up.
Precisely.
So
you look
that
at
was
it,
it's what people say usually. It's the best time to build now. Winter.
But again, if example, since you have mentioned this, I told some of the companies that I've already seeded in the past. I told them, if you want to be listed on Binance, for example, or Coinbase, for example, now is the best time. The market is not at the best, right? You have money to pay. Market, you want to market. Now is the best time, because when the market is in super cycle, for example, you have no chance to be listed on the top exchanges.
Yes.
Right now is the best time. If you have a project, that is really listed,
that's a really gold nugget.
Yes, you just got to do it now, and not wait, man. You can wait if you are a project that is still looking for fund. You can still build, but if you have really gotten the funds, your timeline for technology, now is the best time to build a good narrative so that you can get yourself listed as fast as possible. Because there is no hard and fast rule that you need your product to be up and running before you can list, right? There's some blockchains right now that is worth probably a few $100 million right now. Their testnet is still not up, But this is the best time, because you got to hype it up, list in the best place, and then be ready for the super cycle, man. So that's how real things are,
Amazing. So I think probably the one defining word of Web3 space is community. Like in Web3, it's all about building the community for your project, and the marketing is all about that. So how do you go about, so you have a project, how do you go about building that strong community?
Wow, that's a very tough question, In order to have a community, you got to go through a certain cycle, right? So assumingly you want to build a community, I think the number one thing is you got to talk to the community. That's part and parcel of building. Many projects, the CEOs, for example, they think that they are here and the community members are here. They never interact.
Yeah.
They do not even take the effort to reply them on Twitter, for example. Then where is the connection, right? I'm very busy. Twitter is my own account is managed by myself. All right. I put up posts. I take time to read through. Even there's some people who just try to shit on me, say some crazy things. I reply him. Of course, sometimes I will give them a good
slap.
Good F. But my point is that kind of interaction, is how you connect people. Even I give you a heart shape, I give you a thumbs up. It's me, man. It's not done by my team. I post some silly photos. Like yesterday, I posted like a F1 tire, right? I said, what if I change this into a coffee table? Will you buy? There will people who read it, they reply. There are people who think that I'm crazy, but it's okay. It's a way of interacting with your audiences. It's a way for them to tell you what they think, you know. And if I have the time to reply, I think you have the time to reply, you will have more time to reply, he has more time to reply. Just do it. It's just a matter of how you manage your own time, you know. How can I manage to be an advisor to companies? I write my own article, I still go on social media to reply people. It's how you manage your time, you know. So it's just a matter of process, you know.
Talk to your community, understand what they want, and give it to them. And in general, like, what would you? By the way, you mentioned your Twitter, and you have you have more than 100,000 followers on Twitter. How would you advise people to, specifically on Twitter? Would you advise people to master this platform and get some following over there?
I think there's no real standard method, you know.
Let's say say a person who has no followers on Twitter right now.
So
what should he do?
You got to find a niche, right? So some of my friends, they will just go to like some of the meme coins, you know, they interact, you know, he get the following, you know. Sometimes there's some big Twitter spaces, you know, done by one of my friends who's also in Dubai, you know. You just join the Twitter spaces and talk a lot of things, and then you will get your followers. You know, it's actually very simple as that. You know, if someone is willing to give you the stage, you just do it.
Okay.
Right? If there's a chance for you to speak up and share your insights, just do it.
Okay.
You know, of course, you try your very best to avoid all those very scammy people, you know, and spend your time at the right places, right? So that's how I think. Just stay genuine, man.
Pick your niche. Start interacting with people. Be genuine.
Yeah, that's a very simple model, you know, and that's not a standard model, you know. It might work for the project, it might not work. You know, some projects has no followings, you know. It's a strategy, you know. In order for people to know you, you got to do more in the beginning, and then maintain it, you know. And not pray to God that people will start to follow you. There's no such thing, you know. So you just got to work harder, man.
By harder, you mean more, or you do more, or you focus on quality, or you just follow your intuition and post whatever you want?
I usually post whatever I want, you know. Yeah. I felt that if someone is hardworking enough, you know, you constantly do some video, you put yourself out, eventually you will get to where you want, you know. Versus there are many of my friends, you know, today they do a podcast, for example. The next podcast is going to be in three months down the road. Then there's no consistency, right? You cannot capture your audience. Then what's the point of doing it? So it's you just got to be consistent.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Okay. Is another one. Okay, and in terms of marketing for the projects, okay, we mentioned the most important part, in my opinion, of the Web3 project community, but in general, let's imagine a company has a great product. How should they go about marketing the product, so getting that product out to the people?
Wow, again, it's a very big question.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a loaded question.
But the thing is, you first of all find the right audience, you know, because you can't be starting off thinking that you can attract 1,000 people, you know. Find the right audience, you know. Find the first 10 people that likes you. The 10 people will tell another 10 people that they like you, and that creates a funnel. And that should be how things are, you know, in any marketing. You know, you got to have very precise messages. You got to know what you want to do. You know, you got to reach out to the right audiences. You got to have the right marketing messages. You got to have your right brand messages. You know, but of course, you know, Web3 is very different. Things change very fast. You know, but this does not mean that, you know, you change your tagline every day, right? You just imagine you're Nike. Just do it. It's today. Tomorrow, just do that. You know, you have to have consistency. right? In Web3 marketing, you got to be consistent, you got to be fast, and you got to talk to the right audiences right at the beginning. You know, if today you're talking about DeFi all the way. You know, once you have reached a certain milestone, you talk about new DeFi products. Okay, new DeFi products. You know, there's always a process. You know, in this whole relationship, you take community management and marketing as a form of relationship building. In the beginning, is more about awareness, right? After the awareness, you go into the second stage, third stage, fourth stage, until the stage where they are willing to buy your token or buy your product. It is a process. You know, if you don't believe in that process, you just want to have like straight away go to the end, finding the shortcut, then most likely you're a scam, a rug pull. You don't have the vision, right? But if you go through the process, it could be a shorter time frame, faster process. As long as you go through the right process, the outcome is more or less controlled. You know, you got to understand your niche. You know, that's one other thing that I kept saying. You got to understand your niche. You got to know where your product is, who is your target audience, what can you do for your target audience, what can they do for you. You know, if you cannot control that whole process, you don't have a skin in the game in the whole process, you will never succeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it that all the answers on all three of the questions about how you build your Twitter, how you build your community, how you build your marketing, basically evolve about the same things. Pick your niche, start small, be consistent, and talk to your audience.
Yeah.
I understand them. Yeah, it's basically what you said in all the three questions. Because it's all about the same thing. Yeah, it's like marketing, community being the biggest part of it, and basically it. And Twitter is just one of the ways to do that. One of the channels to achieve that goal. So it's no wonder that the things are the same. Okay. 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 I'm trying to figure out what was the last question I wanted to ask. We'll just cut it off. I want to remember.
Can I get you? They just can I get your number?
I want to.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
No, I think it's very natural. The biggest problem about talking is not about getting the script there. You know,
No, record it.
You know, it's about having a flow. You know,
Yeah.
so as long as you have a right flow, the question will come to you.
Yeah.
No, I think it's always good. It's good. Like
Yeah.
you can have. I think right now, bro, we took plenty of your time. And you said you until 12. Right?
No, I'm okay, but I just want to make sure that you guys are okay. You know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, the last thing probably.
I need to. Can you unlock it? I wanted to ask something, but I don't want to.
He's like your biggest fan.
Yeah.
No, he's very structured, man.
I don't know.
Like me, like yeah.
No, you stole his questions, right?
Yeah. I want to ask, like, what's your, like, I'm trying to figure out this one question, you know, to hook the audience. Something, you know, like secret trick, secret thing, you know, to make them stick until the end. I get like a secret way to make, I know probably there is no an easy answer for this one, but a secret way to make money in crypto right now, or some gold nugget, something hidden which nobody talks about anywhere, and you give it.
I want to be very honest, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think there is such a thing, you know. If the audience, you know, there are people who are looking at getting some quick money, right? In order for you to earn the quick money, you know, you need to have skill, right? So if you are a trader, for example, you understand the charts, you know, you know how to read all the resistance level and so forth. You can actually make good, decent money because the market is volatile, right? Whenever it's up and down, traders are very happy, exchanges are happy, right? So these are fast ways that you earn money, but it doesn't fit to everybody's profile, right? I still feel that everybody, you know, who is listening to the whole chat, the discussion right now, you know, I want you to be very genuine. Very genuine. You know, as long as you are genuine, you know, you want to know more about the project. You know, you will find the insights. And that could be a point where you can enter into the space, get a tiny bit of investment, non-financial advice again, tiny bit of investment just to try it, you know. And that is the secret. The secret is to try it, not just wait, you know. They will ask me, how much should I put in? You know, some of my friends say, how much are you going to put in? $100? I think it's okay. They say, oh, how am I going to earn $1 million from 100? Oh, so that's your objective? Then perhaps put 1,000. Then we say, oh, 1,000 is too much for me. You know, it goes back to the point that I mentioned. You know, you got to know yourself. You know, what do you want? How much can you afford to lose? You know, this might sound very, very, very common thing, but many of these people, you know, who wants to earn money, they forgot about all these very fundamental things. You know, if you are a hardworking dude, right, you can just go to Twitter, look at some of the trends, get involved in one of the projects to understand more, and you find out, okay, this is the right time to go in, just go in.
Yeah.
You know, you got to try. Once you try, you understood the whole process, you can go and replicate the same thing over and over again on other projects. You know, that is actually the secret formula.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about luck. You know, it's not about, oh, today my friend told me about this. It's not about that. You got to understand, you got to be consistent. Once you know it, you can replicate the same model over and over again. And that could just be the best way for most people to spot the next big thing.
That's actually how I first Bitcoin. It was in 2015 for $250. I will just try it. That's how I bought it. I'll buy it. I know. Seems interesting. I'll buy it.
It's straightforward. Let's say you bought it at $1,000, for example. Right now it's $200 and maybe $27,000. It's okay, right?
Pretty good.
But the point is, then maybe my question to you is, will you sell it right now? If you have bought it at 1,000, now it's $27,000 right now. Will you sell it?
If you're asking me right now,
Yes.
I'm not selling any crypto.
No.
I just have it.
No, sell it. You know why? Realization. That's the thing that I've been saying. You have to realize your profit and reinvest this into other things that gives you more return.
To rebalance.
Why do you have to hold on to it, and then it reaches 30,000, and then what? You think that it's going to be 69,000, 70,000? There's just a possibility, you know. But you got to realize it. You know, you got to realize your money, and then rebalance it.
Yeah, rebalance.
And then put it elsewhere. That is again something that is missing in most of these investors. They just hear, or some big guys say, you just hoarder your coin. That is not going to work. You know, you got to realize what you have put in, you know, and not praying to God that it's going to be 69,000, and then what? You're going to sell it at 69? Then your greedy self will just kick in and say it's going to be 100. Then what if it drops down to 6,000? Are you able to take it, right? So it's a process. You know, realization is something that is really missing. You know, you talk to a lot of these crypto guys, what is missing is realization. You know, they are too unrealistic.
Amazing, Andy. Thank you for the
Thanks,
talk.
bro. That's good.